Hi guys, I'm back. My name is Claudia. If you didn't already know, I'm gonna get straight into tonight's episode. And can I just say, this episode was spicy as hell. And I must say, just the whole series is getting a lot more spicier. And if I'm not jumping the gun, I do feel like this is gonna be another really good season. We've not had very good seasons for, if few Love Island seasons haven't been this great, but this one is actually giving. We start with Yasmin having a conversation with Shay. Obviously, she actually apologizes to him for, her actions and how she's kind of made him feel. He rightfully is peed off. And then I move straight on to Helen, who I personally think she's genuinely making a fool of herself. Um, I mean, she can clearly see that Harry is playing in her face. He's constantly embarrassing her in front of everyone, and she's kind of put it in her head, trying to convince herself that Harry is just for her and he's just doing it for having fun. But yeah, she basically has everything in front of her eyes, but she doesn't want to believe that Harry is basically making a fool out of her, and she's making a fool out of herself because she's just clinging on to him, even though everyone is seeing what he's actually doing to her. But hey, then we see Dee and Meg have a conversation. Now, Dee is over it. Dee absolutely is over it. He can't be asked with Megan's constant nagging. I do feel like Megan has a right to nag a little bit, because Dee will tell her one thing and then goes on, and that's this flirting situation. And obviously I know that they're open, but I can kind of see from Meg's point of view as well, although I would say Meg is doing a little bit too much, and at this point we can see that Meg clearly likes Dijon more than Dijon likes her. So he seemed very unbothered by the conversation, and he goes, you know what, it's done, because he can't. He's bored. He's over it. Meg is obviously left really upset and cries and walks away, and lovely Alima, the lovely girl that she is, goes and consoles her, which was actually nice to see. But yeah, I do also believe that Meg, I don't know why I put that Meg is delusional. I don't know what part she was delusional, but I think I'm just gonna skip that point. But yeah, I'm loving Shakira's energy. Shakira is so mature for her age. Apparently she's only 22. She is so smart, and she's over Ben. I was saying about Shakira being very mature and just really smart and clearly over Ben. But before I go into that, just very quick backtracking. I know I put that Max is delusional. I was talking about Harry's Meg. Yeah, she obviously, as I said before, she keeps convincing herself that yeah, the whole Harry thing, like Harry is still for her, and she has nothing to worry about. She's not threatened by Yasmin. I mean, obviously as the episode goes on, we see a different scenario. Yeah, and like I said, I'm loving Shakira's energy. I wish I was as mature as Shakira is and wise when I was her age. But yeah, she's really just sussed out the fact that Ben, isn't giving her much. She said that they've not had a stimulating conversation. Ben is too much into himself, and that's given her more or less the ick. It's off-putting. It's not really her thing. That's not what she's looking for. And from that conversation, you can tell she's over him. She is over him. And then we see Dee, obviously, Dejonia making it very clear that at the moment, he's not even thinking that he's going to sort anything out with Megan. He just can't be bothered with the constant argument, making up, arguing, making up. So at the moment, he's just like, you know what, if it's going to be like this, then he can't be asked to carry this on. Then we see Helen and the other Megs. I think the one from Ireland, I believe. Giving relationship advice to Megan. Now, I feel like they're the absolute worst two individuals to give Megan any kind of advice. So I feel like they should just, yeah, because yeah, from I just can't even take them serious. Yeah, we then see Tony and Shakira talk, and Shakira basically says that although Ben is good looking and she feels that that's all that there is to him, he's not giving her much. As I said, like there's no good conversation, stimulating conversation, which makes him quite unattractive to her. Um, and she also feels like they're on two different levels. Um, and yeah, on in terms of how they feel about each other, she feels like Ben potentially is catching feelings, and clearly she's not. Like she's constantly making it clear that no, Ben is not for her, and I don't blame her. I mean, she's very right. Like there's not much coming out of Ben, to be honest. And that does make him seem unattractive. I think. Yeah, in the next scene we see Yasmin, who's causing absolute havoc in the whole villa. I think it's almost like she's been recruited by the producers to literally just go absolutely mad in that villa. She doesn't care about nobody. She cares about herself, and she's just doing what she feels she wants to do. She clearly is not there to make friends. But yeah, we see her apologize again to Shay, and obviously saying that it wasn't her intention to make him feel that way she's feeling. And yeah, Shay basically still over it and says, yeah, you get on with it, whatever. Yeah, and then Shakira and Harrison talk. Shakira really seems to be very smiley around Harrison. I feel like she enjoys conversation with Harrison a lot more than clearly with Ben, because at this point Ben is just getting on her nerves. Like Ben is literally getting on her nerves. She can't wait to get away from him. That's how it seems like. We then see Meg pull Harrison for a chat, which clearly she only did that for attention. She still wants to convince herself that, you know, Harry is for her, so she's obviously pulled him for a chat. And you know, that even that whole conversation, even Harrison was like, oh, I didn't think that I was your type, and she was like, yeah, you know, you are my type. But regardless, I was thinking it doesn't really matter, because Harrison already said that his type is brunette, and Meg's did not really fit that description. Again, she's making a fool out of herself because she's trying to get an attention of someone who genuinely, like, if you really, really think about it, the bigger picture, he does not care about you. Like, he doesn't. So just let it go. But yeah, they have their little conversation, and to me personally, it is clear that Harrison hasn't got the slightest interest in her and was just kind of entertaining the chat, really. Then we see Yasmin pull Harry for a chat in the hideaway, and obviously things get down. They kiss. Yasmin wasted no time. She kissed him, and he enjoyed it. They both enjoyed it, and they come out, and then obviously Harry doesn't admit it straight away that they kiss. I think he later admitted to John because they kept asking, but told everyone else no, that didn't kiss. Obviously, he wanted to keep that on the low for now. And then they were trying to haunt Yasmin to say what happened in the hideaway, and she just said, oh, we just had a good chat. We had a good chat. We had a good chat. She didn't want to go into details, but they were all suspecting that clearly more than just having a good chat happened. Then strangely, Megs and Harry. Oh yeah, I was gonna say Megs and Harry's situation really reminds me of like a previous Love Island episode where we had Casey. Yeah, previous Love Island episode with Casey and Claudia. Even then, I remember Claudia was pretty much very much into Casey, but Casey was not, and Casey was kind of playing a lot of games, but at the same time trying to keep Claudia there, until then she eventually realized that nah, he's not really into her like that. And I think Casey even ended up choosing someone else, and she got really, really upset. And the whole Casey and Meg situation genuinely reminds me of that. Strangely, they have a little bit of similarities when it comes to looks as well. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know if any of you remember that season, but we all know Casey because he's been on Love Island for how many times now, literally, and he eventually got the win on the All-Star season. But yeah, anyway, just thought I'll mention it. Yeah, so Harry seems in my opinion, I think Harry seems to be more sexually interested in Yasmin, because she really just portrays herself in a very sexual way. She's very sexually forward, and I feel like that is what is attracting him more to her than, you know, being in having a genuine connection with her. So I mean, it is quite obvious, because I think later he even says something along the lines of that. Yeah, so then also Yasmin, like I said, she literally doesn't care. Yasmin doesn't give a damn about anyone. Like I said before, she and Max even have like a little argument where it is so obvious that Yasmin is just there to do whatever she wants to do. She's not a girl's girl, and it doesn't matter what anyone says. She just gets on with it. Yeah, and then obviously this is during the game. Obviously they get into the one-to-one kind of argument, and then obviously also in the game, obviously Shakira finally reveals in front of everyone like that she's so. It seems like, you know, she's so over him based on what she was saying. Um, and I feel like Ben just sounds really daft. And obviously while they're having their little one-to-one, I think Ben gets a little bit ahead of himself, and, you know, starts being quite cheeky to Shakira, which, if he doesn't know, it's putting her off even more. I don't know if he knows how far he's going to get with her doing these things. And it also seems like he's deflecting, because at one point he says, yeah, there's a whole lot of nothing coming out of your mouth, and it just seems like Shakira didn't even respond. I feel like, you know, when you're so over someone, you can't even, you don't even have the energy to say anything back, so she just kind of just let him just pull the face kind of thing. And yeah, the whole game genuinely revealed a lot of how Harry actually feels about Megs. Yeah, I feel like it's very embarrassing for Megs, how, you know, Harry's kind of behaved, almost kind of like behind her back, but also in front of her, because he has kind of done certain things where, like, if you're smart, as a girl, as a woman, you would know that this guy is not serious whatsoever. But yeah. So then, and also I actually put that I feel like Harry has no respect for Max at all. I mean, we've seen how he's been treating her, and it's actually diabolical. But she allows it. Like, she's so delusional. She actually allows it. But hey, each to their own, I think. And then I also put, like, obviously during the game, the way Ben was so cheeky to Shakira, I feel like he's literally he's blown it, completely blown it. I think at this point Shakira was just gonna manage, and she's gonna move on at the earliest opportunity that she can. She is not into Ben like that at all. And I must say, Dijon really surprised me in the game, because obviously at one point when they were talking about the whole conversation thing that he had with Tony and Yasmin, this whole threesome situation that's been going on, all of a sudden it's, oh, you know, you girls were trying to get into my head, saying that, you know, about Megs and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I think one of the statements that came up about what Dejan had said. So he was obviously trying to defend himself, but it almost like seemed like he was really trying to almost retract, because when Tony and Yasmin was telling him about how Megs is always breathing down his neck, blah 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 blah, and that she doesn't really say, or he's not himself when Megs is around, he kind of agreed. From what I remember, he didn't actually seem like it's a problem, but all of a sudden in front of her and in front of everyone, you want to make it seem like, oh, people are trying to get into your head. My friend, you have your own mind. Yeah, what we're not going to do is blame other people. Yeah, stand on business, and yeah, be honest with yourself and be honest with Max at this point. And yeah, Harry then admits in front of everyone that he did kiss Yasmin, finally, as everyone suspected. So he kissed her twice. And she goes, no, it was 3 times actually. So everyone is like gasping. And then we see Mrs. Irish Max doing up spokesgirl and, you know, going all in on him and stuff. And everyone talks, blah, blah, blah. But at this point, Megs is yeah, at that point, Meg's absolutely fed up, and at the end of this episode, we obviously see her walking away, peed off, which I kind of get, but she also put herself in that situation because, come on, he's really been showing you from time that he ain't serious, but you wanted to hold on to him, like. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you've listened to the end, I'll be reviewing tomorrow's episode. Let's see how that one goes. Um, Please comment, like, and subscribe. I'm still kind of building this channel. And yeah, see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.